All right, ladies and gents, we are going to look at the fastest way to do statistics with a spreadsheet program like Microsoft Excel, or in this case, Google Sheets. If you remember what we did last time, we've done two things now. We looked at something by hand where we took 12 measurements, and man, that was tedious. It's so easy to make mistakes. And then yesterday, we took like class height data, and then we learned how to have the computer to do all those calculations for us. Today, we're going to go even faster. So what's different about today? Well, today I have a little subset of our cotton fling data, which is right here. Each group, and I just limited it to 3 different groups, period 3, group 1, period 3, group 2, and so on. Each group has 10 trials, and that means that there's 30 pieces of data total to do. So if I wanted to get individual values for averages, standard deviations, that's going to take a long time. Even with the computer, I'm going to have to set up all of those different columns. So I just want to show you a couple shortcuts for doing this because statistics are so important. They've built a lot of this stuff into spreadsheets. First thing I'm going to do is we're just going to verify we got the right idea. I'm expecting 10. If I do a count over here, if I equal count, and this time I'm going to highlight the whole matrix, right? The whole row and column here, and close it off. And I'm getting 30, which is what I expect. If I said 10 earlier, I was mistaken. 3 by 10, so there's 30 total things in there. Let's take a look at finding these things with for each group. So underneath, I want to find the average of each group. Well, I could sum them all up and divide them by the count in each one, or I'll just use the built-in function. I start typing equals average. There it is, and it's prompting me for the average of what? What data? I'm just going to go ahead and scroll there. Boom, there it is. 41.35 is the average of all those values. Let's do it for group 2 and group 3. I could type that function in there and do average each one, but watch this. I'll just highlight it and pull it sideways this time. There are the averages there. And again, if I'm ever curious about, hey, is this doing what I think it's doing, I might just hit Control tilde. Damn it. Gotta go backwards here. Whoops, guys. See if I can. Control tilde, and it shows me the function up here. So yeah, it's indeed taking the average of column D. So it's doing what I expect it to do. Control tilde will get me back out of that. Let's look at standard deviation next. So I'm going to do equals. I'm going to start typing standard, STD, and it gives me all these choices. And we're going to talk a little bit about these today. This is standard deviation of an entire population. Here's standard deviation of an entire population, and here's standard deviation of a sample. Well, we're going to imagine for each group, the 10 measurements was the entire population. So I'm going to use that one, the one that ends in VP. Hit that one, and again, just like average, I'm going to specify the data, close off those parentheses. There's the standard deviation, and I want to do it for the other groups too, so I'll pull it sideways. There it is, right? The range, we should have figured out, right, is just the maximum minus the minimum. And we could look at those and find with our eyes, but let's have the computer do it. So we'll go equals max. Let's highlight that data. Minus min. Highlight that data again. And you get that. And I'll pull it across. There you go. And then the median for each group equals, I'm going to start typing median. There it is. Highlight that data. Finds the median or computes it for us in the case of even numbers. And there's the median for each one. So what I'm going to leave you to figure out is, all right, these were for each value, the average for each group, the standard deviation for each group, range and median for each group. Over here in this set, let's find for the whole value, all 30 measurements, what's the average, the standard deviation, the range, and the median. And let's also make a histogram for the entire data set. Okay? All righty then.